What's up, Swagga family? What's going on? It's your boy, the Joker here. Got my main man to my right, Big Shorty. We got Black Ninja in the house. We got Golden Boy. We got Ace controlling the cameras over there. All right, today's topics, fellas, we're going to talk about marriage. Things about marriage. Does marriage get easier? Does marriage get worse? Does marriage change at all? What are the ups and downs in marriages? And why is there so much controversy with getting married?
I don't think it's a controversy in marriage. I think people think it's supposed to be golden honey, no kind of bitterness in it. But every marriage got bitterness. Some got more, some got less.
I think a lot of times, let's start with a relationship, right? Before somebody gets married, a lot of times people feel like there's problems in that relationship, right? So every relationship has some type of an issue, right, that you work through. But then there's some people that feel like, well, if we get married, it'll fix that. We married now, so we can do things different, and that ain't the case, because now, once they add that wedding, that marriage into it, now that focus kind of changes, right? And the expectation kind of changes. So whatever was going on before you got married tends to, unfortunately, amplify, because now you're like, you belong to me now. Right. And that can make things worse when people sometimes believe it's going to make it better. Okay. And that's why a lot of marriages probably end within the first year or two, where they've dated for at least 5-6 years. They get married, and then they get divorced within a couple of years.
Exactly. I could even chime in on that real quick. That in the beginning you have that what's that face? You put that face on. You put that.
You put your game. You put your
A
game.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You put that on, and then you feel as though later on, once you get married and things go how they go, that starts to slip.
The honeymoon is over.
And for one thing, that should not be a factor, I believe, in any marriage. What you did at the beginning, you should continue throughout the marriage doing the same.
Can I play devil advocate?
Go ahead.
If I can. I can play devil advocate?
Yes, you can.
I think sometimes before you get married, a woman always, I'll go back to this again, a man will find a woman, not the woman find a man. That's why it says again in the Bible, you find a good man, a man find a woman. I think it's every when a woman find a good man. I think before people get married, lots of women, especially our race of women, they want this ideal, the perfect man. What kind of job he got? He ain't big enough, he ain't tall enough, he ain't short enough, or something. Instead of saying, do he love me enough? Do he let me be out with him? Half the time a woman won't let a man be a man.
To be honest, that's not even devil's advocate. That's just truth.
Yeah.
I mean, so
that's
true.
Yeah.
Even if you really get married, you make more money than me, but you go out and date a man, part of my friends got a drug dealer, because he got this. Or a bum, he's just a total bum. And because I work at 7-Eleven, he hustles on the street, she look at me down. Because I ain't driving a Mercedes-Benz, but I'm driving a Kia. Not going with a Kia, but I'm just saying.
Right. I think I've seen a lot of that going on in over times. I look at it. I think I touched on it one time before with you guys when we sat down and we talked amongst ourselves about things. Women look for, some women, not all, so don't bash me. Some women try to find the finer things in life that's going to keep them up there in the clouds. Whereas though you have a good person that could be right in front of you, but because he has on sweatpants or, he working at a garbage truck or whatever, that's not for me. I can't do nothing with that. And that's sometimes women's mentality of where they drop the ball, I believe.
So I kind of disagree with that one, because I think there's a lot of women out there that want to get a man and craft him. You know what I'm saying? Like if he wears sweatpants, if he's working that part-time job at a restaurant or something like that. Sometimes women feel like I can make him into a good man.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Why don't they take him as He is.
But I
He
thought you were
is.
saying that they don't want to deal with that guy because of what he's doing or how he's dressed.
Right. They don't want the goodness that could be right there in front of them because they want to mold them. They want, but first of all, what they want is the riches to come in the beginning. They want you to be bling bling
And here's
and
something
gleaming.
here's something funny that we use sports as a prime example. And I'm not being racist or whatever, but it's facts. Look at your sports, right? And you look at the black guy, who he married?
White.
Now, usually that female is there from high school or from whatever. They go to the product, if you understand. It's just like baking a cake.
Mhm.
We don't want the cake to a finish, get to your frosting.
Mhm.
But usually a lot of female, not all female, a lot of female, minority female want the cake at its finish. Don't want to walk, don't, that's good analogy.
That's what I was getting.
And
at.
that's
what
the
I was
analogy,
getting at.
right?
Yeah.
They want to do the mixing of the powder,
Right.
add the ingredients, and they want the cake straight from the oven. No, that's not doing it baked,
They want it already there in front of them.
decorate everything else. That's crazy.
But it's funny you say that because I just seen a video today. Just happened to be a white female that actually said almost those exact words. The black female wants the finished product.
Mm.
They was okay with the college student that just so happened to get to the professionals. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I just seen that video today. One of those videos.
Golden Boy, what's your take on it? How you feel about it?
So, from the initial point, I think marriages sometimes just don't work. The ones that I personally know that didn't work, I feel like it was a communication thing even from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So much of like you said, people kind of being fake at the beginning, putting on a front, and when you get married, every day, tomorrow will be different than we was yesterday. So it's a constant evolution. So as that person is evolving, and you'll hear people say, "Oh, he wasn't like that," or "She wasn't like that," when really she was, or they was. You just chose not to see it, or they was being fake at the beginning. The one thing I would say too about the girls wanting a finished product, I think that's true. But I think sometimes we be like that too. Like, if you have two sisters and one is fine and the other is, say, maybe a little plump, which one do you go after?
But I'm gonna say that's something different.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that's different for preference. What I mean by finished product, a cake, right? A cake,
Success.
right? It's excessive, right? She don't want to walk the man through the college or through the aches and pain, but that other female, whether it be white or tan, but majority of players are going with the white lady. And women
But
get
I think that's false. I think that's on false. Listen, I heard Tiger Woods met his wife and she said she didn't know who he was. I don't believe that. Ain't no way in hell she didn't know who Tiger Woods was.
it worked.
It worked, but I think it was false.
But you gotta look at it. It's not every female. You know what I'm
No.
saying? Like there's gonna be some differences, but when we talk about the overall majority, a lot of times, if you got a guy, let's just make an example here, right? If you have a guy who's playing football, and he's okay, he's doing okay, he's on the team, and I'm talking about college, right? He's doing all right, right? But he's a nobody really, and a lot of times, it's sad to say this, but a lot of times, the black female gonna be like, well, you ain't nobody. You ain't making no money. You barely in college, right?
Right.
But the white female is like, oh, you funny. We have a good time together. Let's hang out.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Then, boom, he has a breakout year or whatever, and all of a sudden he's in the NFL draft or looking like he's about to go to the NBA. They're already with that female. So that's why I think a lot of black athletes have interracial marriages.
Yeah. Now on the flip side, they also say now, not just nothing against the brothers, but also these brothers are down with black females also. It's two sides of that coin. 'Cause, they say the white lady, oh, she'd be there for me, but at the same time, very, very passive. Very, very passive.
It's a different upbringing.
It's a
It's
different
a
right,
different
exactly.
culture.
That's what I'm talking
You
about.
know what I mean?
Like I know, like we gotta think about it. One of my friends, that's all he dates. And that's all he
That's
wants.
all he dates.
And because he told me, he said to me, black women are too strong. And he meant that. That's cool.
He gets intimidated.
He said get intimidated. And I respect that.
Right.
So that's his preference.
I call BS on that too.
Okay.
He date the other race because he think they dumber.
And they're not.
But he tends to think that. That's what my honest opinion that I told him. He think they dumber. And he can get away with more stuff.
See
with
that.
Right.
Yeah.
More submissive.
Right.
Yeah, they way more submissive to the
right,
point of, damn, she really let you do that?
Yeah.
But I think now, I know we're kind of going off topic a little bit. Well, we are still on topic. But here's the thing. A lot of people get into relationships with baggage. Instead of conversing about that baggage or issues and things like that, I'm not going to say black, white, whatever. They come into it with certain issues they don't want to talk about, and they hold that against the person they're with. Example, if you're with a woman and you all of a sudden just bust out with aggression. Oh, don't do that. I was brought up in a house that was like that, and this happened to me when I was young. Ma'am, I wasn't in that house when you were back then. This is me. I didn't mean to trigger nothing in you, but this is something that maybe I just did. I apologize. I'll try to work on it, and we'll, go from there.
Is this
A
before
lot
marriage?
of people, huh?
Is this before marriage? Or
It's a lot. It's before marriage. It's during marriage.
But you gotta
There's a lot of
understand.
different things.
You gotta understand if you're human and you've been out in the world, you're gonna have baggage. Some people's baggage is just heavier than others.
Exactly.
So and just look at yourself in life, right? There's things that you've experienced, and if somebody brings it up in your present day, you automatically gonna be like, "Oh, I remember this. I've seen this before. Oh, no, this ain't gonna happen." So
Exactly. But I think you can talk about it and divert that
But
and make it into something
But there's
else.
some issues that people don't even want to talk about. If they see it again, because they had such a traumatic time with it before, they don't even want to deal with it no more.
And that shouldn't be.
Oh,
held
you
against the
coming
person.
at me, you yelled at me, and you call me out my name, oh, we done. Because they've had that bad experience before. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well,
So
I'm not,
you can't expect that person, it was traumatic, so you can't expect that person to say, well, I'm sorry, I forgive you. They may not want to do that.
so what about things that, okay, when you're dating, you're talking, communicating, would you let that person know some of the things you've been through? And you think it would help the relationship along the way?
I think that would be good, but I think a lot of people don't want to bring that stuff up. I think a lot of people, because
Right.
everybody's on their, what they call it,
It's behavior.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
what you're seeing is the best of them
Right.
on both sides.
So if she come up to you and tell you she been molested as a kid, that might scare you off.
Yeah,
the
you might
door.
be like, oh, whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, it might be too heavy for you. Which,
Yeah.
even though in honesty she should tell you, but she might be afraid to because
Now-
you might run away from it.
Now you and that person, y'all doing good. Y'all having fun, this and that. You go to the bedroom and you grab her and throw her down because you're just playing. You're just being you. You're having fun and this and that. That triggers something in her. Now it's a problem.
It could be.
It could be, but on the flip side, that she should have told you, and then you would know that might trigger her. At the same time, when it do trigger her, if you really love her, you're gonna have to understand then to maybe help her through it and understand and work with her
And
on
not
it.
do it again.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But again, that person may not think that you're going to do that. You know what I'm saying? And then when you do it, it's a shock to them. So you got to be understanding that, again, that's why I keep saying it's a traumatic experience. Sometimes when something traumatic hits you and you relive it again, based on whatever the circumstance is,
Right.
you might not be in that state of mind that you want to even talk.
that's why I think another thing about that too is communication. You know,
Biggest
sometimes
foundation.
if that person loves you, you know that person, you gotta share and give that person an opportunity to help you help them. If you're not doing that, you're gonna come into a dead end. Cause like you said before, we put on this false face, or I'm gonna say masquerade, or 98, like what's the name said, the 90-day thing. Well, it's Steve Harvey. He said 90 days. Usually people show their color. I think sometimes it can be longer than that. No, I think he just went on top of his head because 90 days could something like it relate to 90 days.
Right.
But a lot of people can hold that same masquerade or that same facial for a whole year, sometimes 2 years.
More than that, yeah.
You know what I mean? So with that in mind, it's come down to communication.
I think it also comes down to, I think it comes down to quite a few things. And one of them could be your individuality. If you're a person that's been single for a minute, and all of a sudden now, you know, okay, you're in a relationship, boom, it's going good, 1, 2 years, whatever, you get married, and now, I gotta tell you where I'm going all the time now. Well, now we gotta share the same bank account. Or I can't go get something without talking to you first. That might be an issue, right? Because now you're losing that individuality. Now, you need to converse with somebody that you're living with, that you're married to, before you do the things that you was accustomed to.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying to a lot of people out there, if you get married, you can stay have your own bank account. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You can have your own bank account. You ain't gotta be secret squirrel no bank account. Your main account is your bills and everything else, or your savings account. You won't have it. If you talk and communicate, you don't have to worry about that.
You can have your own
But you
separate-
gotta talk. And we look at every relationship in life. Communication is a key thing in a
Big time.
relationship. So without that, you can't have nothing.
And what if you know, you used to go into your friend's house on Thursdays to eat crabs and listen to music, and all of a sudden now you in a relationship, a marriage, and your significant other is like, oh, wait a minute, every Thursday? Yeah, what's the problem? We're together all week long.
Right.
Why I can't have a night out with
One day.
with
One
my
day.
friends? Like, and that could be, you know, the partner could be a little possessive, and now it's starting to come out. So there's a lot of things that you have to look at when you're talking about marrying somebody that might not come up in the relationship, in the you know, fiance and boyfriend girlfriend stage. It might not come up until after the ring is on, because once that ring goes on a finger, you belong to that other person.
Whole different world.
Plain and simple. You belong to that other person.
What do you mean by I need to clarify that one? What do you mean we belong? I just need to know.
You belong to that other person. So if you're going to be doing something, like you said, communication. You can't just go up and do something without communicating with that person. So yeah, you belong to that other person.
You mean ownership? I just want clarification. Ownership?
No, I mean belong.
Okay.
Not own nobody.
Right,
You
right,
belong
right.
to that.
And that's-
You're not going to do something. Okay. Being married, I decide I want to take a trip. And I tell my wife, hey, listen, I'm going to the Bahamas next week.
We have done
Oh, yeah? Okay. When we going? No, it's just me and the guys.
We have done that.
That's going to be a problem.
It was
because you've already made those plans without even conversating and communicating with your significant other.
Sometimes it's delivery.
Yeah, it's and then if that person tells you you ain't going without me, now you got a problem.
But I
You
think
know what
that
I'm
go to, like you said, the dude that want to go eat crabs every Thursday that been doing it for 5 years. If you're a traveling person and you know you travel, when you and your wife, like, y'all should have that like, this, I do this. Like, is that a problem? Let me know from the door that
Right.
that's a problem, so I can decide, do I want to deal with it or don't want to deal with it.
Right.
So
Yeah, because sometimes when that marriage kicks in, they expect you to stop because now I'm your friend. Oh, you want crabs and all that stuff? Oh, well, okay, we're going together. You know what I mean? So
and that's part, like you said, identity. A lot of people, I'm not saying because guys do it too. A lot of guys think that because we married, I don't have my own identity. You need your own identity. That's making marriage stronger. Because either two things happen. Either it's your past or you don't trust me. And any way you look at it, we got to talk about it. How?
This is one deep
yeah,
conversation.
it could be.
Because
there's a lot to it.
it hits. This is something that we can go way deeper into, whether it's personal traits or it's just facts that we want to put out there for everybody. Because this conversation can go way deeper than what it's going.
But before, I got two more questions. In a relationship, how do you communicate?
What you mean? How?
How do you communicate? Do you spark a conversation that you sometimes we can talk about a female or whoever, you talk to somebody without, like you put them on the spot, but you're not putting them on the spot.
I think one thing is that if you in a relationship, you go to your significant other and say, hey, babe, let's sit down and let's have a conversation. Let's talk.
About what?
Well, there's a few things that are on my mind.
There you go.
I think like this though, right? I think it comes down to you need to know your partner.
Mm-hmm.
You need to know how you need to come at them, how to talk to them. Because if you know your partner, you know there's certain things or a certain way you need to come to them.
Right.
And be like, hey, hey, babe, hey, listen. I was thinking about hanging out with the guys next Thursday and eating crabs over at such and such house. Do you mind if I do that? Oh, no, you good. Now, there's some relationships where a guy might go to his woman and be like, hey, check it out, next Thursday, we ain't doing nothing, right? So I'm going to go over there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you got to know your partner. You got to know how to
But
communicate
then also
with
with
your partner.
that, I believe, I've seen it, I've heard it, and it's been done to me a few times. Oh, why you coming at me like that? You know, like you're soft. So
What, asking a
sometimes,
question?
yeah, there's some women that want you to be women. They want you to be not an aggressive, but a dominant kind of person.
You got to know your partner.
Right. But then they can put on a fake persona.
But you got to know your partner. Then you'll know she feels.
That's the bottom
You got
line.
to know your partner. You got to know this is how I'm going to tell them. Or I know if I tell them this way, it's going to be a problem. So
Okay.
I need to sit them down and say, listen, we're not doing nothing next Thursday, right? No, we ain't doing nothing. Okay. Hey, listen, the guys was talking about going over and having crabs and beer on Thursday night over blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Go ahead. You know.
Well, we came to agreement, right? That communication is the main thing for it.
Number one.
So, what about the 2-2-2 rule?
Is that the second part of your question?
Yes.
See, you. What's the 2-2-2 rule? You want to explain that to me?
Communication, right? 2-2-2 rule is every 2 weeks you have a date night. Every 2 weeks you go out and do something. And every 2 months you go on a long trip.
Okay.
So I mean, a long trip could be away from weekend getaway.
Now, see, by you saying that, that's something that's new to me because I never heard of 2-2-2 rule.
Called 2-2-2 rule. So y'all don't know, y'all know.
That's good to put it out there.
Because you need sometimes that vacation is good. Vacation, a week-long vacation, 2-2-2. Right? 2 weeks, vacation. Date night. 2 weeks, get away. Another 2 weeks, 2 months, vacation.
Okay, here's the thing. You into your marriage.
Very much.
I love you, baby.
You into your marriage, a few years, y'all doing well, everything's going right. You come to her with new oppositions. Like, hey, babe, let's get on this 2-2-2 rule.
We do that.
Not you.
Oh, you said me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Public.
I'm sorry.
You get on that with them, and then you say, okay, every 2 weeks we do this, every 2 months we do it. Now, what happens when that person, no, not down for that, not in with that? Where
Why?
do you go then?
I mean, I guess the question would be why. Like, she had to tell you and explain to you why. Like, if she said,
but I'm saying now you're in the 3 years, y'all been doing good. You come up with this, something that you want to do, but now she doesn't want to do it. How does that hinder the relationship now?
depending on how bad you want to do it, and if she makes sense of why she don't want to do it, I would say.
And I agree. If something had to happen, you try to say, okay, saying that it's another time that this couple been together, right? And also, this guy come up with a scenario. I want to do something different,
Mm-hmm.
and she said no.
She said, I'm not. Nah,
Sure was a bad time, but you.
Well, no, I think a little more than that.
No, it's not almost for time. It's that
I mean, you got to give more than you come with an idea. What is ideal? Like, it ain't about you, but come on.
Well, so, okay. You know how some women can come up with the, how do you say, the no, I don't want to do that. That's not something that I'm interested in doing.
Right, but you have, before the response to respond to, for them to understand, you got to give a question, like, oh, no, you're not giving a question about your answer.
No, I'm saying you come to your lady, I'm throwing this out to everybody, you come into your lady,
Right,
you've been married 2-3 years,
2-3 years,
everything's going well.
going well.
Now, okay, I'm listening to this podcast one day, I just heard about your 222.
Okay.
Now I come to her and say,
That's
hey,
right.
let's try that 222 thing. We've been doing good, we've been going out on dates, we've been doing it, but let's try that.
Okay, well, here's again, because that's a big.
And now you done explained it to her.
Yep. Okay, you explained to her.
You done explained
If
it
she
to her.
explained to her, there either two things happen at this point.
She don't like you.
She don't like you anymore.
Okay.
Because, I mean, think about it. If you try to make your marriage to a different level, or maybe you just didn't bring it to her in the right way. I mean,
How you bring that the wrong way?
you don't.
I'll say this.
But people, this ain't about me.
No,
This
no,
is
no,
about
no,
growing
no,
this
no.
out.
What if you can't afford 222?
That's what I'm getting at. Right.
Okay, so that makes
Okay.
sense though.
Right.
Now, if she comes with that to say, yeah, well, I don't think we can.
Then I think you
financially
kind of
do it.
crazy for
Bring it up.
bringing it up.
But you can. But that same token, let's be realistic. We joke and laugh, but let's be realistic. If you live in somewhere, you got a small thing. Listen, you can have a 222 in your house, in your apartment, because something you never did before.
Mhm.
You can have a date night
Now
in your
you're
house.
explaining
You can have a picnic basket.
Right.
Before me and my wife got married, we had the money like that, right? So we used to have a picnic in the living room, just me and her, cut the lights down low. We had a fake candle and put a blanket down and act like we had a picnic. It's all kind of ways. It's imagination that takes you there.
But what if you can't afford it?
For what?
Can't afford what, a little picnic in your living room?
Yeah, but how often is that going to become a routine?
No, but if you got a good partner, she understands what we want. She knows we struggle because
I
you
just
not.
don't understand. But
Well,
but for a person who really can't afford it, when does that become a routine?
Well, marriage should never be a routine from the get go. It should be spontaneous. And no marriage should be spontaneous. I mean, on a routine. What the only mean by routine is that your mind should be always excelling to get better. So even if you don't have the money, we all can come up with $20 and go get a loaf of bread, some cheese, some turkey, and get a bed blanket from upstairs. Just the ideal that we're doing.
Right. So you do that.
Right.
Yeah.
A couple months later, you still ain't got no money. So I'm just saying.
Yeah, well,
So you can't do the 222.
You could do it. You could do the blanket in the living room.
The
you could do the
blanket,
sandwich. You
but
could
you're
do the
not
wine.
you're not doing
But-
the date night
but-
and you're not doing the.
But when does that become a routine? So now, you got to switch it up to something
I
else.
think
Right,
I
mix
think
it
I
up.
think
Mix it up.
to your point, you got to do what's financially
Fair for you.
able for you.
Yeah.
Even it might just be, yo, we gonna get a blanket and look at a movie on YouTube.
right. Or just go upstairs and chill, read a book.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Or go to. There's some stuff.
So
out
you
there
have to be creative.
very creative.
So people, that's what we're trying to tell you. You have to be creative in the things that you're doing, and you might not can always go with the 222 rule. You might have to change it up to the
Yeah.
101 rule,
You
or the, you have to switch it up. You have to make what works for you and your spouse to keep things energetic, keep things going in your relationship. So all we're trying to do is just give you different scenarios as to how to keep your marriage live. If that's what we're doing here.
Well, no, we just, like I said, just poking the bear a little bit. Because sometimes we get complacent in our marriage, man. I mean, we all
There's a
do.
lot to it.
But it's a lot to that, right? Like you said, but we want to put some eye on it because sometimes we don't see things that somebody says to tell you about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so once you hear about it, you're like, oh, damn, I don't do that no more. Because sometimes, remember, we put it aside. Oh, we open the doors.
Mm-hmm.
We also stop opening the doors.
And then eventually people stop.
Right, so sometimes we get somebody say, look, tuck or kick in the butt or tap side of the head, like, yo, bro, it's not really hard to do.
I always heard this from a woman one time before, and it really stuck with me, and it's pretty much common sense. Don't start nothing you don't want to continue doing. You understand that?
I understand.
Do you understand that? Do not start anything you don't want to continue doing.
But again, that's one of the hardest things for us men. We get complacent, we relax.
Right.
Average time, women always look at, we call that girly girl stuff. Well, it's not really girly girl.
Right.
It's just being in a relationship. But we all get complacent. I mean, There's not too many guys I take my hat off to them. You can do that way. There's not too many guys can sit there and say I do this all the time. No, there's no way. You know what I mean?
Swagga family, want to give it up to you, give a big shout out to you. You guys comments, your likes, and the people that subscribe, really appreciate it.
Can I say one thing before I
Go
call
ahead, go ahead.
Listen to me, yo. We're gonna have another follow up on this one on the wife. I mean the relationship. What's the other one we talked about? And the military.
Military.
We're gonna definitely have a follow up and be on the lookout for. We did one on mental health. Prior to this, I want you to keep an eye on it. I'm telling you, it's good.
There's a lot of things we're about to go deeper
This is
into.
really good, but it's gonna take us out, man.
We're about to go deeper into things. Swagga family, we want to tell you we love you, care for you. Keep us in your hearts, keep us in your minds. We love you. Peace.